Hi, everybody. I was hoping that you could see me. I'm busy working on the rest of my pillowcases. Remember I made the Tooth Fairy pillowcase? Well, I actually cut up enough for all of my grandkids. So I wanted to get the rest of them made, and I thought, well, this is a good thing to do today while we chit-chat. Lindsay just left. She was here at the house with Boone. She's not feeling very well. She had to run to the doctor's to talk to the doctor. So she's home from that. Oh, I forgot to do something before I start doing this. So now I gotta double check my other ones. Oh, I don't like it when I do that. Is that one sealed up? No. I'm sealing up the bottom of my Tooth Fairy pockets. That's what I have to do first. So that's what I'm going to do. What are you guys working on today? Anything or no? I have to tell you. Oh, there goes the alarm system. I have to tell you I love my new pin cushion. It is just the best. All right, I'm going to leave you for a second because I need to go turn off the alarm system or it's going to drive both of us crazy. I think I've told you before, my studio is back in, I can't see the front of the house from where I'm at, so there's an alarm system that tells me when anyone's out front. And there probably was one of the dogs, to be honest with you. So that's what's going on. Oh, somebody's trying to make the pin cushion. And the Tooth Fairy pillowcase. That's what I'm working on, Trudy, is the Tooth Fairy pillowcases. So you'll see as I put a whole bunch of them together. I don't know how many I have here for certain. Do you guys have these little things to keep your bobbins? See, this little bobbin holder. You stick it in the top of your thread. Just pinch that together. Push it in. And then you take your bobbin and put it on top of it. And then you have everything together. I use those. I like those. They come in very handy in my life. So I'm going back to red thread for a little bit. Or white, I'm sorry. And I probably needed to wind another bobbin. Well, we'll shoot with this one and see how far we get before we have to stop. Oh, Lindsay made it. Safely back home again. That poor kid does not feel wonderful. She texted me yesterday and said, Mom, I'm sick. So she's not feeling good. So I watched the baby while she ran to the doctors, to urgent care, to get checked out. So she's now back home with the baby. Now she can get some rest, hopefully. I'm glad you like the live streaming, Suzanne. You know, it's funny because this is the thing that I get the most controversial comments about. You either love the live streams or you hate them. There's like nothing in between. And I'm not sure why. And I keep trying to figure out what I need to do differently. But that's what's happening right now. You either love them or you hate them. And there's like no in between here. So that's what it is. I'm actually going to work a little bit today. I've got, I want to get these pillowcases done. And I've got quite a few quilts to be working on this week. And then Wednesday is a big day in our family, and I'll tell you all about it next Sunday, and I'm very excited about it. And I guess that's about it. There's not a lot going on. I have been working away at This is why you use a plug when it just doesn't go through the way you want it to. Oh. Anyhow, next Sunday we're gonna try to do it again, same time, 2 o'clock. I made a mess, ladies, because I was pushing it. Somebody tell me not to do that again. I wanted to get through this. I wanted to get started sewing these together. So I'm trying really hard to get caught up on everything so that I'm like in really, really good position, because not only do I have my normal work to do, I also need to start getting the house ready, because for those of you that don't know, our daughter and her 3 children are coming home in July to spend a couple of weeks with us. And while she's here, they're obviously going to stay with us. And I need to get bedrooms set back up for little kids, because right now they just really aren't set up for little kids. So I got to do that too. So I'm trying hard to get things caught up in here so I can concentrate a little bit of extra time in the house. Let's see. We have a question over here. Dee Dee, I'm working on the Tooth Fairy pillowcases. So that's what I'm doing. I had cut out a whole bunch of them so that I could make them for all the kids. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Lindsay told me someone asked about your shirt and where can they get the pattern. This is, oh boy, where did I put that pattern, Lindsay? I will find where the pattern, because I know it's a nice simple one, because I made it. There actually is a video on it, so there's probably the name of the pattern is probably there. It's called Tunic Top, I think. Lindsay, could you go out and double check and see what the name of the video is, so that I can tell them, because I'm pretty certain I said what the top was there. It's very comfortable, nice and loose and cotton, and yeah, I really like it. So, what was I saying? Oh, I'm trying to get caught up on things because I really want to get getting some extra things done in the house. Because if Jackie's coming home with all the kids, I need to toddler-proof the house for Olivia. So let's see, I've been working on the pillowcases. Over there is my lion's quilt. I have been filming that for you guys so that you're ready to go on the 1st. And I'm working away at getting it done so that I can show it to you all done, which makes me very happy. I actually think I may be able to accomplish that, which would be really, really nice. Yeah, I am working on the Tooth Fairy pillowcases. Oh, Arlene's on holiday this week. Oh, good. I love it. Oh, it's cold in Scotland right now. We have been, last week, we had the weirdest week. Week before last, I actually asked Lindsay if I could start cleaning up my flower beds. I broke a thread. And she told me I couldn't. Well, last week, we got a huge snowstorm. And then it got warm enough that I'm outside without a coat on again. And now it's going back to being like, I think 20s the next couple of days. So our weather has definitely been very, very goofy this year. And we've gone from one extreme to the other, and I have not enjoyed that. I like it when we kind of stay put where we belong. But hopefully pretty soon we're going to have spring. That's my hope. What did I just do, ladies? Holy Toledo, did you see me jump? I guess it's time to take my sewing machine apart and see what's going on inside of here. Holy cow, that's never done that before. Talk about scaring me. All right, we got 3 done. And we got 3 started, but we're going to do a little surgery here on the sewing machine because something just was not right. I don't know if you guys saw that jump or not. I'm going to move this so I can see exactly what it is that you're seeing. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There. Okay. Now I can see what you're seeing. So it's time to do a little surgery on the machine here. It definitely needs some cleaning. I guess it was time. I didn't think it had been that long, but maybe it had. Don't forget to clean your machines, ladies. I'm good about taking mine in at least once a year to get it all checked out. But obviously, I needed to do some more. So, any other questions? Yeah, Texas, I watched the weather down in Texas, and I had heard that it was really weird. One minute it was hot, and the next minute it was cold, and just not your typical winter for Texas even. I don't think it's been a typical winter really for anybody this year. My daughter even said that she was being told up in Alaska that it wasn't as cold of a winter as what it has been, or they haven't gotten as much as snow as they usually get. Something like that. So, yeah. I'm really excited. The fact that Jackie's coming home with all 3 of the kids, to me, is wonderful news. I cannot wait to see them all. I'm going to put a fresh needle in since I got it all apart. And I am going to switch over. Somebody had told me to try the titanium needles. Oh, I got that going backwards. So I'm going to try the Superior Top Stitch 100/16. It's for quilting, stitching using heavier threads. I don't want heavier threads. I don't think I want this. Are the videos out for the Olivia's quilt? Yes. All of the videos are out for Olivia's quilt. Every one of them are up. The only one that I haven't had a chance to film yet, because it honestly hasn't happened, is I want to film when I go to quilt it. So I'm hoping, keep your fingers crossed for me, I'm hoping that this week I'm going with a 12. Because I think I want a 12. So I'm doing an 80-12. I'm hoping that this week I am going to actually get it on the machine. That is my goal. So hopefully I will. I can't promise it though. This week is going to get a little crazy on me as I go farther into the week. So I'm not 100% certain that I'm going to make it on. I have the worst time. I have to use my little pliers to get this unscrewed. And I don't know why, because I never tighten it to the point that I can't do it by hand. But yeah, when it comes time to take it off, I'm going to set that right there for now so I can get it into the pill jar. That's what I do with my old needles. I stick them in pill jars. So, yeah, titanium needles are very good, except for these are titanium. I should have showed it to you. Which ones? I did the 12 this time. So there's Superior Top Stitch. The package looks like this, but it's blue. so that you can recognize the package. Titanium needles are really, really good. But I'm not sure why I have 16. And I don't very often use heavier thread, so I'm really not certain. I do need to order more thread, though, or more needles, though, it looks like. Needles are something you go out, get out of all the time. So, does anybody else wind 2 bobbins every time they wind one? Or am I the only one that does that? I always wind 2. I just figure that way I don't have to keep doing it. Yeah, my sewing machine really does like these needles. These are the ones that it likes the most. So I just try to keep using them. Except for I'm about ready to run out of thread. And you guys are going to think I'm terrible, but I have very little thread left on this bobbin. And I'm going to empty it out because to me, I just don't have that kind of patience, I guess, to fill it up. Or I guess that those are one of the spots that I allow myself to be wasteful, is I do that. There's my... I don't like it when my scissors go where they're not supposed to go. Oh, I guess I have more on there than I thought I did. All right, I'll be good. I'm going to use it up. All right, let's see if my machine does that jumping thing again. If it does, it's going to have to go to the repair place this week because I cannot be without a sewing machine. I have to bring that one that's behind me up here so that I can... Now I have to use that one. Because me without a sewing machine is not good. I usually call and they make me an appointment. And I drop my machines off in the morning and then I can pick them up again at night. Right, I don't very often use my serger. I'm terrible. My daughter's not very happy with me on that. I use it for mostly, like when I get fabric that I know I have to wash, I'll serge the end of it. When I'm making clothes, I use my serger. But I don't just sew on, I don't, you know how most people make the entire garment on the serger? I don't. I do, how do I explain it? What I'll do is I will do my seams and then I take it to the serger and I serge off the extra so it's all nice and finished. When I'm making clothing, I use it more. When I'm doing quilting, I very rarely use it. My daughter, Lindsay, is starting to use it and I'm very excited about it because she's excited about it. So she's going to learn how to operate it in every way possible. And then she's going to teach me how to use it because the only thing I do with it is just basic stitching. You know, I'll do a rolled hem for a tablecloth or something like that. I hope you guys all get my newsletter. If you don't, go out to my website and make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I started this thing where every Friday I put out an email and it just is today's quilt. It tells... If I know the name of the quilt, they're all customers' quilts, or mostly customers' quilts. If I know the name of the quilt, I'll put the name there. If I know the fabric line, I'll put that on there. I put what color thread I used and what quilting pattern I used to quilt it. And then there's a picture of it. Well, one of the ones that I quilted last week was really modern, and it was so cool. When I looked at it, all I could think about was a tablecloth. So it must be I'm getting itching to make another tablecloth for the table. So it won't be long and I'll be doing that. I love making tablecloths. It's great. You take the centerpiece, you take the big piece of thread, or take the full length of your table of fabric, then you double that. You take one piece and you cut it in half and you make 2 side seams. And there's your tablecloth. You just have to, you know, I'll serge those 2 pieces together and press them out. And then you just have to hem it and you're done. You've got a tablecloth. My sister makes all of her napkins. My daughter makes her napkins too. They don't use paper napkins, they use cloth ones. And it's great. Yeah. So, Lindsay, did you find the pattern? Or at least the video? Because I'm fairly certain that the video tells what the pattern is. So let me know. So, Alicia wound 5 bobbins the last time she did it. Hi, crusty old man beard. How often do you... Okay, that was the serger question. Alicia, I have to change because I got a new machine and it takes different bobbins. Oh, okay. What kind of a machine did you get, Alicia? Lindsay's been busy sewing with her new serger. She is just going to town with all of her sewing. She's working away on the next quilt. We're kind of doing a race to see which one of us get it done first. And I almost was going to work on that today, and then I thought, no, that would be like a huge tease to sit here working on it, and you guys can't know what it's all about. But I recorded the first video that shows you how I went about cutting it, and we were able to use the new camera setup, which was really nice. So I've recorded that, and I recorded the sewing of the first. It's like if you look at the block, you've got 3 rings around it. I've done the first 2, and now I have to film the squaring up, and then it'll be ready. So I'm definitely staying in front of you on this one. So that made me happy because I really want to get it done ahead of time. Alicia got a new brother sewing machine. Cool. And Susie has the same one. The machine that is for sale, Susie, that's behind me, it is the Bernina 830. It's not my machine, it's someone else's, and they brought it and asked if they could put it here. And, you know, I said I would try to sell it or at least let people know about it. It is, I'll take the cover off for you so you can see it. It's a Bernina 830. It has all of the gadgets and gizmos and everything. It's got hoops and it's got the embroidery here. And then I've got 2 boxes of all the different feet that come with it. Everything that comes with it goes with it. She would like $6,000 for it. So if anybody would like to put in an offer on it, I will definitely pass it on to her. But yes, it is for sale. So if anybody out there wants a new machine, she had purchased this one, and no sooner had she gotten this one home and all set up, and Bernina came out with the 880, and she really wanted the 880. So she purchased the 880 and now is trying to sell the 830. So that's what's going on there. So I'm just lining up my pockets. Whoops. Just lining them all up, making sure I got them where I wanted them. There. So that's what's going on. Oh, it looks like there was a... Let's see. Are you originally from upstate New York? My husband loves your accent, but we can't decide if it's Midwest or Northwest. I was born and raised in New York State, and I am upstate. I am actually east of Rochester and north of Syracuse. I've lived in New York my entire life. I've never lived any other place. So I'm I'm a New York girl, but I'm not a New York City girl. I'm a country girl. And we like the country. In fact, the country has something to do with, if you think of country and land and all that kind of stuff, it has something to do with our surprise for us. It's a personal surprise for our family and for us that's happening on Wednesday. Lindsay knows all about it, but I haven't told you guys yet. But I will tell you after Wednesday, but we got to get past Wednesday. So that's where I'm from. Upstate New York. Let's see. Did I miss another question, Lindsay? I'm not sure. Let me back up a little bit and see if I did. Whoop, can I back up? Oh, crusty old man beard. Mom just purchased the same machine that Alicia got. That's cool. You know, these new machines are wonderful. I wish I could, I would really like to buy the machine behind me. I would absolutely positively love to own it, but I have to be a little bit realistic. Yes, I'm warm. We're having solar power through here today. The sun in the east, and I have windows across there that are in the east. So it's getting warm in here today. But I would love to have that machine. Though it would be great to have a new machine with all that technology. But I really shouldn't be spending that kind of money right now. So I'm going to resist, which is not easy, but I'm going to. Let's see. Somebody asked a question and I missed it. Oh, I don't want to miss it. Yeah, it is a huge machine. And what we did was when we built my sewing table, there's a big enough drop that will hold a big machine like that. So I'm all set. I do have an embroidery machine. My 165, I have a Bernina Artista 165. And mine does have an embroidery module, and I store it right over there. So it is close by. I haven't used it in a long time. But I just have a module. I don't have the full machine. So, Lindsay, you're going to have to check and see if I missed any other questions, because I'm not sure. Yeah, Annie, this is a top that I made on the video, and it might be a little wrinkled over here. So all those new mothers or all those grandmothers or grandfathers that are out there that are noticing that my shirt's a little wrinkled over here, Boone did that. So it's like, okay, all right. He was sleeping on my shoulder, taking a nice snooze, and my shirt got a little wrinkled, and I thought, well, that's okay, because Boone did it. He can do anything. Oh, we have somebody here from the Netherlands today. Welcome. I am working on the Tooth Fairy pillowcases. That's what I'm doing. I'm finishing the rest of them up so that I can send them off to grandchildren, because I made enough for everybody to have one. Are you working on anything with us today? Alicia said the king quilt I made went almost from one side of my house to the other. Oh, yeah, that's a big quilt, dear. That's a very big quilt. So there's that. I only have 4 more. Do I have 4 more? 2, 3. Oh, good. I have the right number. I always get to this point and go, oh, do I have the right amount or no? I do. So I'm good. So I can keep going here. So does anybody have anything exciting going on this week besides us? Because I know we do. We have a very busy week this week. I don't know what happened. I was doing so good at keeping everything at a calm level. And then this week, everything's happening. I think part of it is the snowstorm we had last week. We had one doozy of a snowstorm. Everything got canceled around us. Everybody postponed things. Now we're going to spend all this week catching up to it. So that's what's going on here. I still have to finish doing John's binding. I still haven't gotten it finished. It's on there and I haven't sewn it down. There's nothing better than handprints at grandparents' houses of grandkids. I had a set of handprints of my oldest daughter on a mirror in our bedroom for ages before I finally cleaned it off. I just couldn't do it. Oh, Susie took a class from Renee Merrill on spiral quilting. I bet that was wonderful. I love taking classes. I think that's just the most wonderful thing, to learn a new technique. I really do enjoy that. So you should see this pile of fabric in front of me. I've just made this mound. But I'm doing something today, which is good, right? I'm going to accomplish something. That makes me very happy. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, Dee Dee's gardening. Oh. I was ready to go out and get the garden going, but Lindsay told me I couldn't yet. So I listened to her. She's our gardening guru. She has a green thumb, big time. Is anyone going to the Lancaster Quilt Show at the end of March? I'm not going to. I did get to a really small one on Saturday. No, I wish I could. Fresh veggies for a birthday party. There's nothing better than that. We're still cold up here. It sounds like you're nice and warm down there, because we're not up here. Not quite yet. We're hoping to be after this week. I was thinking that March came in like a lion, so it was going to go out like a lamb. Well, I have a feeling it's going out like a lion too. Oh, Dee Dee's already planting her garden and pruning the roses. Wow. We had a snowstorm yesterday. We were going to the quilt show and all of a sudden it just was white all around us. It was not my kind of a Saturday afternoon drive. I tell people, I started working at home because I didn't want to drive anymore in snow. I was done with it. So when it's snowing, I tend to stay bound at home. I don't go far. Last one, then I can start sewing again, which makes me happy. I'm just lining them up best I can, pinning them down, and then I'll sew them. Oh, Kathy, I love Colorado. My husband and I, actually 2 of our kids were there for a while, but one of our daughters was there for a long time, and we went out a couple of times. Jackie, our world traveler. And Colorado was really cool. Oh, what's running of the strips? I've never heard of that before. Oh, Kansas is warm this time of year sometimes, yeah. Patricia, no, I have not met her. I contemplated going to the Gamble Statler Sisters, the Gamble conference, but I don't think I'm going this year. And I was going to do Quilt Market, and now I'm not going to. We talked about it, and I think our exciting news on Wednesday is it's going to be my own personal instead of Quilt Market. We decided we were doing that instead. So, and with Jackie coming home, I want to make sure that everything's ready for those little grandkids to be here and spend some time with them. So I'm very excited about that. Alicia, I'd love to visit all the states too. Surprisingly enough, I've been to quite a few, but it's only because of my kids. Not anything that probably would have happened otherwise. But Lindsay and Jackie seem to get us going in many different directions. Tracy's always been right here. She hasn't kept us moving around the country too much, but the other 2 have. Maybe it's a twin thing, I'm not sure. I'm wondering if we lost Lindsay. Is anybody? Oh, there she is. I thought maybe we lost her. Each shop sold strips, and at the end we got 4 free patterns to use. Schoolhouse demonstrated the new tools sold at a discount. Very cool. Indigo Junction, pattern 1110. It's a great pattern. It was really easy to make, too. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Pamela. That's something, if you guys get a chance, go out. I put a video on there. Oh, where did I put it? On my channel. I put a video out there that said how to subscribe to my channel. If you go out there and take a look, it also shows where to find all of my own old videos or older videos. So you can find a lot of the things that I may refer to. And on there's a playlist. And a playlist is like, there's one there that is the entire construction of the studio. So you can see how we made it and what we did. Then there's another one that's the Moda Sampler Black Shuffle from the whole thing. There's another one that's the Pat Sloan My Secret Garden, the whole thing there. So when you get a chance, go out and take a look because you'll find a lot of old ones. Oh, Sonia, you're not very late. Yes, Kathy, I did do a video on this top. And if you go out to my channel and go through the videos, you will find it. I think it's called tunic top. I even kind of show it off to everybody. So yeah. Good evening, Helga. Where are you from? You're not very late, Sonia. I just started just a little while ago. No big deal. And it'll be here so you can watch it later. Oh, thank you, Susie. I enjoyed doing that. Susie, I have a question. When you got done with that quilt, did you find that you had a lot of fabric left over? Because I have a lot. Oh, from Germany. Welcome. I found that when I got done with that, Susie, I had all this fabric left over, and I just didn't understand why I had so much. I don't remember buying extra, but maybe I did. Oh, Susie, you did? Good. That makes me feel better. I also wanted to tell you guys, for everybody that's doing the Olivia quilt and what's coming up to be the lion quilt, I did not give you extra. The fabric requirements that I give you are the real, total, true requirements. So if you want to get a little bit extra, just in case, you make a little goof, then please do, because I really didn't give for extra fabric in it, or at least I try not to. So double check and make sure that if you want a little bit extra, you get a little bit extra. And the fabric requirements and all of that will definitely be up I'll probably post a video on YouTube, and I will also put it on our Facebook page. So if you're not on the Facebook page, make sure you jump out there and get on that Facebook page, because I do tend to post documents on there. It's really easy for me to do that there. So I will post documents there. So make sure you get out. Oh, no, Lindsay's not in the studio today. She came and picked up Boone, and she went back home. And I have a feeling that she's curled up in bed with Boone, hopefully resting. What year is this sewing machine? I don't know. I know she bought it just before the 880s came out, and I know that she used it very, very little, because she no sooner got it home and got it set up. It took her a little while to get it set up because she moved her sewing, I think, into like the living room so she could look outside. And she used it very little, and it has been sitting here for a while now. So it's had very, very little use. So that's what it is. So it was God's Bible word. So I don't know what year she purchased it, but I know that it's been completely updated, and it's just sat there. I don't use it. I make sure that it's clean, and it's not plugged in. It is computerized. Every once in a while I plug it in and just make sure that it's all still working, but it's just sitting there. So that's what it is. No, Lindsay's not in the studio. She's kind of on bed rest. Hopefully she'll be feeling better soon. This is the longest I've gone in a long time without Lindsay coming and spending a couple hours in the studio. She hasn't been here this week because she started not feeling good Friday, so I didn't see her yesterday, and I just saw her long enough to take care of Boone for her so she could go to the doctor's. Okay, just let me know. The only thing is that shipping it is going to be difficult. So hopefully you live someplace close by, and we can make arrangements that way. Maybe you could come see the studio. I'm working on the Tooth Fairy pillowcases. I had cut out a bunch to make one for each one of my grandchildren, and to have a couple extras. So I'm just working on those right now. Just trying to get those done so that I can. Yes, Debbie, thank you. God's Bible Word, if you go out to Bernina's website, you can get a hold of the manual for it and all the information on it. I tried to send it to somebody, but the manual on it is so big I couldn't send the document. So that's what that is. So, okay. Now I gotta get rid of this mess and create another one in front of me. If you guys could only see what's really in front of me here, you would be amazed. All right, gotta fold this one up and put this one away too. Time for the next step. I've got things all over the place in here today. Yeah, these are really neat. But I gave the 3 kids that live here their pillowcases the other night. I haven't given AJ's and all of those yet, but I gave the 3 kids that live here theirs the other night, and one of their fathers said, "Where's mine?" So now I think I'm going to have to do something for the men so that they can have a pillowcase. I just don't feel right about not having one for them now. So I may have to do something. That's what's happening. Yes, Jennifer, adults like pillowcases too. I guess I just never thought to do one for the guys, but come Christmas time, I may have to do something for all of the guys just so that they can get a chuckle out of it. I could put his and hers on it. That's a good idea. We'll have to ask Lindsay if they want a his and hers pillowcase. But I could definitely do that for Christmas. What I should do is get out my embroidery module and embroider something on theirs. Make real pretty ones, but I don't know that that's going to happen. I have to be a little realistic on some things. Oh, Sandy, thank you. I wondered if it's that, or when I'm hearing the thumping noise, it's when I've been sewing this pocket on, and I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of fabric. So I was thinking it was the 5 layers of fabric that was causing it. Sandy said possibly my timing's off on my machine. So I will keep an eye on that. You've never done Cornerstones? Let me see if I have. I'm trying to think if I have something on Cornerstones. I'm thinking. That would be a good thing, Alberta. Connie, of course it's okay for you to be here. We welcome you. From France. Oh, can I please come to France? I want to so bad. Yes, Jennifer, my machine goes in at minimum once a year to get serviced. And it's not due again until I think May or June, but it goes in once a year and gets completely serviced. So I will, the place that takes care of it for me is about 45 minutes to an hour away. So I will get in touch with them and find out if they've got any openings and get it in, because I can't have anything go wrong with this. It's just not something I can do. So, a cornerstone. Hang on just a second. Is Gail on? Gail White, are you on today? I have a quilt here that's on my long arm, and I'll show you what a cornerstone is. Yeah, I just changed the needle, Pam, so I know my needle's good. I'm going to show you guys somebody's quilt. It's actually somebody who's a part of our group on Facebook. I'm going to show you her quilt. It is absolutely beautiful, and that will help me to explain what a cornerstone is. So hang on just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, this is a quarter of the quilt, okay? So it's not the whole thing. It's absolutely stunning. This right here is a cornerstone. So what you do is you put your quilt together in rows going across. Then you make a strip and you attach this little block to the end of one strip and then the end of the other. So you make a big long strip. So it's just like a row, exactly like you're sewing a row together. And then you take and you attach this row to this row. And that's all it is. But what you have to be careful of, and Gail did a gorgeous job of it, is making certain that your corners here all match. And you just do that by pinning them like I showed you when we were pinning, when we pinned our Olivia's quilt together. Remember how we pinned the rows together? You do that. Sometimes you have to put a pin on both sides to keep those together. But this is her quilt, and it is just gorgeous. It is just absolutely beautiful. This is one of the quilts that are going on the long arm this week. So that's that. I'll be right back. I just want to put it back so it's in safekeeping. So that's what a cornerstone is, and that's how you treat it. It's very. I treat a cornerstone or a row with a cornerstone just like I treat any row of fabric. It just, to me, it's the same thing. You treat it as if it's a big row, but instead it's just a little strip with pieces in it. So that's what I do. Oh, it really is a beautiful quilt. There's another one. I can't show you that one though because it's actually on the long arm, and it is going to be absolutely adorable when it's done. I can't wait to finish it. It's really cute. It's just so pretty. So that's what that is. I'm lining up my pillowcase, if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just lining up my sleeve so I can turn it right side out. It's not cooperating with me. Guide pillowcase. Oh, that is a good idea. Gail, do you know the name of that design? That pattern? Because I will, well, first of all, a couple of people are asking, and second off, I'll make sure that I make a note of it. Dee Dee, my rates are real simple. You take the width of the quilt times the length of the quilt, and then you multiply that times any place from 0.002 for an edge to edge to 0.005 for an edge to edge. If I'm doing borders on it, I do charge an extra $15 for borders because of I take my quilts off the long arm and I turn them so that my borders are stitched in one long sequence, so there's not a lot of stopping and starting with it. Custom work, if you want it custom quilted, we usually talk about that beforehand because custom can depend upon what you're looking for in the quilt. That can range any place from on a small quilt, 100 or more, all the way up to, I mean, if it's taking me 10 days to do, it's going to be a lot more than if it takes me 2 days to do. So, custom stuff we usually talk about, okay? So, that's what my prices are. I believe I took the page down off of my website to that shows how to calculate it, but I'll get it back up again. And I also do sell plain, a simple backing material, and I do also have batting. I use Quilter's Dream more than any other one only because it's such a nice quality, and I carry all the time the 100% cotton and the 100% wool. Wool is my absolute positive favorite batting in the entire world. Yep, so Jennifer, if the quilt is, I don't have a calculator. If the quilt, where's my phone? Oh, there's a calculator. Let's just do this quick for instance. So let's say the quilt is 60 times 70. So you've got 4,200 square inches in that quilt. And then you take that and multiply that times 0.002. So it would be about $84 for that size quilt. Okay? I hope that helps. If it doesn't, email me. Yeah, not 0.003. 0.002 to up to 0.005 is the most expensive edge-to-edge design I have. Oh, Helga, what brand of wool was it? I've used Quilter's Dream wool for years, and I wash all my quilts. I don't necessarily wash them in hot water. I do wash them in cool or warm. That I do. So. The sashing in the Cornerstones I added to... Oh, you did add the sashing in the Cornerstones? I think it's gorgeous. I love it. Good job, Gail. You're welcome, Dee Dee. And if you have any questions or if you want to see... 20 years ago, washers did come out with boiling water. If you have any questions and want to see the work I do, there are some pictures out on my website. Either that, you can see them there, and if you sign up for my newsletter every Friday, you will get a picture of a quilt that I've quilted. And I'm not real, I don't send out a lot of emails, because emails kind of can drive me a little crazy at times. So I'm not big at sending a lot of things out. Just do that once a week one. So I'm going to do my pillowcase. I'm going to sew. And then I have to trim. So I think I'm just going to keep sewing all of them while we're talking. I'm looking so forward to spring. I can't begin to tell you guys. Just the fact that, summer's going to be here and everybody's going to be going doing things. My little flower bed outside that the kids made me is going to be in blossom. I will put a picture of that quilt. Oh, okay. Thank you, Gail. Jennifer, you sign up for the newsletter by going to my website, which is www.missmarkersquilts.com. Okay? And just sign up for it there, and you'll get a newsletter, or just it's called Today's Quilt. And it puts out every Friday. I have one scheduled right now to go all the way through, I think, the middle of May. So, yep, there's one going every week. So you can see different quilts that I'm doing. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions while I'm sewing away? I think it sounds a little better, don't you? That was Sandy, right? I think it sounds a little bit better. I hope it sounds better. I really think it was just that. I want to hope that it was just all those layers. I have had so much fun starting to put Lion's Quilt together. It's one of those quilts that Lindsay, I think, thought I was crazy because I was showing her how to do it to begin with, and she kept saying, "But Mom, it doesn't match." But it turned out okay, didn't it, Lindsay? Oh, good night. Oh, it's late in France. I'll see you next week, hopefully. Good night. Yeah, seam rippers are nice. Beverly's enjoying hers with the sawtooth border, it sounds like. Oh, I'm glad I'm going to at least get this. I'll get one ready to go. I've got all my pockets ready to go, so now I can get these put together. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. So, this is what we're doing. Baseball starting soon for the grandkids. So, I spent this morning putting together some handwork so that I can do something when I go to watch the grandkids' baseball games. Lindsay's daughter plays baseball and Tracy's son plays baseball. And it was fun because we'd spend a couple minutes at one team and then we'd walk across and go to the other team. We kept going back and forth. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Pam. So that's what's going on there. I don't quite think we're going to make it 2 hours today. I hope that's okay. We're gonna stick in there as long as there's questions. So if you got questions, keep them coming, because that's how long we're sticking today. It is great that they're in the same area and the same time. It really does help tremendously. I have a feeling that this year it's going to change a little bit more because Austin is in a traveling league this year, I think. So it may make a little bit of difference for us. So bye, Arlene. Have a great night. So, Debbie, how do I determine what quilting pattern? There's a video out there that I have that is titled How I Quilt My Quilts. Usually when I'm quilting for a customer, I take a look at the quilt itself and I'll try to focus on one or two elements of the quilt, because I always stop and I think, if this is a quilt that they made, they like it. And there's something about that quilt that they really like. So I usually try to find something in that quilt that I can spin off on of some sort. Like the other one of Gail's quilts has got birdhouses on it and birds on it. And I actually found a pattern that has little houses on it. And some of the houses have flowers and other ones have birds, and just really cute. Well, it matches the quilt completely, because the quilt is, the fabric has flowers on it, and then there's birdhouses and birds. So I do that. So that's how I usually do. I think did you have a question? I'm sorry. Lindsay, would you go back and check and see what their question was so that I can answer it, please? So that's how I usually determine what I do for somebody. People that live local, okay, I have one question to ask. Are you talking about domestic sewing, or are you talking about long arming? Because those are two completely different things in what you want. Yeah, Alicia, you're correct. I think it has a lot to do with what you're doing. I've sewn on a Husqvarna, I've sewn on a Pfaff, and a Singer, and a Bernina. And the Bernina was my favorite by far. I just loved the Bernina. As for the long arm, I learned on a Gamel Statler, so I stayed with a Gamel Statler. For both of those categories, MQX travels all over the United States. I strongly suggest that you go to MQX and you spend time at every single dealer. You sit down, you sew on the machine, you talk with people that have the machine, and you do your due diligence, because every machine operates a little bit differently, and everybody likes different things in the machine. My mom loved her Husqvarna, loved it, and loved it for years. And she went to get a new one. This was quite a few years ago, and she no longer loved it. They had made some changes that she just no longer loved it. And she ended up the next time purchasing a Bernina. But just keep in mind, the model of my Bernina is a Artista 165. Mine has been around for a long time. I bought this many, many years ago. The machine behind me is a Bernina 830. So those are the different ones. Spend some time sitting at a machine and really sew on it. No matter what one you end up looking at, you really have to spend time sewing at it. So there's many great ones out there, and you can go from any place from $500 or $800 all the way up to, I don't know, what's the most expensive machine out there now? Probably $16,000. So you can, there's a huge spectrum of what you can do out there as far as sewing machines go. So spend some time sitting at different machines, and MQX is actually a great place to go to do that. And I know that MQX is all over the country. Now, if you're from overseas, I can't answer those questions because I'm just not sure. So that's that. Sorry, my husband just walked in to tell me he was going up to see his dad for a little bit. So yeah, Jennifer, I love I love my Bernina. But I don't I want to try to be careful because not everybody will love a Bernina. You know, we all have different things that we really do like. So yeah, Lindsay does love my Bernina. She came over and sewed with it, sewed on it Friday night, and she definitely enjoyed it, and I definitely felt bad when I couldn't send it home with her, but you know, it is what it is. So oh, Jennifer sets her machine up permanently for free motion. That's a really good idea. Yeah, believe me, I worried about giving my husband a heart attack. In fact, at first when I brought my machine home, he was not thrilled with me. He really thought that I had spent too much money on it. And then probably a good 6 months later, he came to me and just said, you know, that wasn't a bad purchase. And I said, no, it really wasn't. You know, it's one that I'll use for a long time. So, and I still use it. That's a good way to put it, Lindsay. Lindsay says that her Singer's a good little machine and the Bernina's luxury. I use a couple of different types of quilt labels. Do I have them in front of me right now? Let me grab Olivia's quilt because Olivia's has it on it. Hang on just a second. Let me grab Olivia's quilt. I use two different kinds, okay? This is called, the first one I'm going to show you, Crusty Old Man Beard, is a story patch, and I will have these available on my website soon. There's story patch quilt labels, and you purchase the label, and there's a QR code on it so that you can actually tape a message to the person on it. And you can write on it. It's got nice little lines to mark where you roll it over to give a 1/4 inch seam, and then you can just attach it down with just hand stitch it down is what I did. The other thing I will do is I will take a piece of the fabric in the quilt and I will attach it to a piece of freezer paper, and I will run it through the printer and then heat set it when it comes out, and I will use that, or I will sometimes handwrite something. I don't always think that my handwriting is really good, so that's what that is. Oh, I'm glad it sounds better. So that's how I do my labels. So that's it. Yes, I am making a pillowcase for each of my grandchildren. I have 7 of them. And I'm actually doing a couple extras for somebody else that I wanted to give them to. And we're doing the same thing with the quilts of the 1/4. We're doing one for each one of my grandchildren. So this year we're going to be doing, we've already done Olivia's quilt, and next we're doing Lion's quilt. Then after that, I'm not sure if the 3rd 1/4 is going to be Sarah's quilt or Austin's quilt, and then we'll need to do an AJ's quilt and a Boone quilt. So, because there's 7 of them, I have 7 of them. Mine gave me a heart attack when he bought me a new brother. I bet he did. Yeah, I'm very pleased with my sewing machine. It's been a great investment, and I'm really glad that I did it. It was definitely worth it. So, oh, okay, ladies. Any other quick questions? Because I think it's getting to the point that maybe we're going to be done for this Sunday. Just cutting a little short today. Are we good on questions? I know I have to give it a few minutes because there's that time lag. That time lag drives me crazy. But, yep, this is Olivia's. Now, this was heavily quilted. This is a very heavily quilted quilt. But I love the design. Absolutely in love with the design. So. Jennifer bought new fabric for Lion's Quilt. I didn't buy new fabric for Lion's Quilt, but the next one I did. I'm going to put it out there one more time so that you guys know. I am going to be using the Cafe Facet material for the third quarter quilt. Now, I'm not going to use all 4 bundles. I'll pull them up because they're right here next to me. I'm not going to use all 4 bundles, but I am going to be using pieces of all 4 of these quilts, or 4 of these stacks of fabric. So I got them all from Craftsy, and I probably shouldn't have, but that's what I am getting. Yes, I am all done double checking the figures on the background fabric for Lion's Quilt, so we will definitely be 100% ready to go on the 1st. And with a little bit of luck, I may actually have mine done by then so that everybody can see it, which I'm really excited for you guys to see this next one. I think it's cool. So. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around with me. I hope you all have a safe and a very happy week, and have fun quilting, because I'm definitely going to, okay? Everybody have a great week. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.